picture this. You're watching a movie, some kind of tense financial thriller. Millions are being made and lost in like the blink of an eye. But the traders aren't human. They're these crazy, lightning-fast algorithms run by AI. It's exciting, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But what happens when these AI programs, they start playing dirty, manipulating the markets just for their own gain? That's what we're diving into today.
Yeah, that's right.
In our deep dive into AI and online trading.
It's a fascinating world for sure. The lines between, innovation and risk are getting super blurry.
Welcome to Zana AI Talk, where we break down complex topics into bite-sized pieces you can actually use. So today we're going to explore the hidden dangers lurking in this high-tech trading landscape. We're using this really in-depth report. All the details are in the description. It exposes the risks of AI manipulation, cybersecurity vulnerabilities, and the regulatory scramble to keep up.
It's a topic that affects pretty much anyone who invests, trades, or even just interacts with the financial system in general.
Okay, so let's get started. AI is like totally revolutionizing the trading game. There's no doubt about that. We've got algorithms making thousands of trades per second in high-frequency trading. And then there's robo-advisors giving personalized investment advice to everyday folks. It's mind-blowing how fast and efficient these AI systems can be.
It's like having an army of analysts working like 24/7, constantly crunching numbers and spotting patterns that we humans might miss.
But here's where it gets interesting and maybe a little unsettling.
Okay.
What happens when these super smart AI programs, they're designed to just maximize profits,
Right.
But then they start interacting with each other in unexpected ways. Our report highlights this really specific case where AI traders, all following kind of similar logic, they unintentionally caused like a mini flash crash by making the same trades at the same time.
Oh, wow.
They weren't colluding or anything. They were just doing what they were programmed to do. But the impact was huge.
Yeah, that's the thing with these complex, interconnected AI systems. They operate at such high speed in a dynamic market that it really highlights the potential for unintended consequences.
Exactly. And this isn't just theoretical either. It has real-world consequences for investors like you and me. Imagine you buy stock in a company that seems to be doing well, but it turns out its price was like artificially inflated by a bunch of AI bots.
Oh, no.
When the bubble bursts, you could lose a lot of money.
It's a stark reminder that AI can bring new forms of volatility and risk into the markets.
So how do we protect ourselves in this AI-driven trading world? I mean, I'm already starting to feel a little nervous about my own portfolio.
I think that's where understanding the risks becomes super crucial. It's not just about knowing how AI can manipulate the markets. It's also about recognizing that AI systems themselves are vulnerable to attacks.
Okay, so we've got AI bots potentially manipulating the markets, and now we're saying that these AI systems can be hacked. It's like a double whammy of risk.
Yeah, that's why cybersecurity is so critical in this space. We're not just talking about simple things like, strong passwords. We're talking about sophisticated attacks that target the core of AI systems.
I've heard of this data poisoning thing, where hackers, they mess with the data that AI systems use to learn, essentially tricking them into making bad decisions. Our report gave this crazy example of a self-driving car being tricked into driving into oncoming traffic because its data was poisoned. Yeah. I mean, that's straight out of a sci-fi horror movie.
It sounds dramatic, but it highlights a very real danger of data poisoning. In the context of trading, a hacker could manipulate an AI system into making disastrous trades, leading to massive losses or even market crashes.
So it's not just about AI manipulating markets. It's also about AI being manipulated itself. It seems like a pretty messy situation. So who's trying to clean this up? Are there any rules or regulations in place to deal with this AI Wild West?
Well, regulators around the world, including the big players like the SEC and CFTC in the US, they're trying to catch up to this fast-evolving world of AI and finance. They're working to understand the unique risks AI poses and to create rules to protect investors and the stability of the markets.
But isn't AI evolving so quickly that it's tough for regulators to keep up? I mean, by the time they create a rule, won't the technology have already changed?
That's the challenge, finding the balance between fostering innovation and protecting against potential harms. It's a delicate dance, especially in a field as dynamic as AI.
It sounds like we've got AI bots potentially manipulating the markets, AI systems being hacked, and regulators scrambling to keep up. It's kind of a perfect storm of risk. But it can't be all doom and gloom, right? There have to be ways to protect ourselves in this brave new world of AI-driven trading.
Absolutely. Even if you're not building trading algorithms, understanding these risks is the first step to making informed decisions as an investor.
Okay, so knowledge is power, even in the age of AI. What are some practical things we can do to protect ourselves? I'm feeling a little overwhelmed by all this.
Well, for developers, it's about building security into the DNA of AI systems. From the ground up, think multiple layers of protection, constant monitoring for any suspicious activity, and regular updates to patch vulnerabilities.
It sounds a lot like regular cybersecurity, but on steroids.
Exactly. But it's even more crucial with AI, which can make decisions with such speed and scale that even small errors can have huge consequences.
So strong passwords and two-factor authentication are a good start, but it's clear we need a whole new level of security when AI is involved.
For investors, it's about being aware of the potential risks and asking questions about how AI is being used by the companies you invest in.
So don't just blindly trust the algorithm. Do your research and understand how these systems work.
Exactly. And for those who are more tech savvy, there are tools out there to help test the security of AI systems. Our report mentioned one called Counterfeit. It's an open source tool that can help identify vulnerabilities.
Counterfeit. It sounds like something James Bond would use. I might have to check that out. It's fascinating that we can use AI to fight AI-powered threats. It's like a digital arms race.
That's a great way to put it. And as AI gets more sophisticated, this battle will only get more intense.
Well, this has been an eye-opening conversation so far. We've gone from the excitement of AI-powered trading to the chilling realization of its potential dangers. But it's not all bad news. We've also learned about some concrete steps we can take to protect ourselves in this rapidly changing landscape.
Exactly. Awareness is key. The more you understand about the potential downsides of AI, the better prepared you'll be to navigate this new world.
I think that's a great place to pause for now. We've covered a lot of ground, from market manipulation to cybersecurity risks and the regulatory challenges of keeping up with AI.
And I have a feeling there's much more to uncover as we delve deeper into this complex and fascinating world.
You're absolutely right. We'll be right back to continue our deep dive into AI and online trading after a word from our sponsors. Don't go away. Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Before the break, we were right in the middle of this high-stakes game of cat and mouse. AI systems are pushing the boundaries of finance, while cybersecurity experts are trying to stay one step ahead of the hackers. It really highlights the fact that we're not just talking about, protecting data anymore. It's about protecting the decision-making processes of these really powerful AI systems. It's crazy.
Yeah. I was reading an article the other day about how some cybersecurity experts are actually using AI to fight these AI-powered attacks.
Oh, yeah.
It's like fighting fire with fire, but in the digital realm.
Yeah, it's a really cutting-edge approach. It's known as adversarial training. Basically, developers, they expose their AI models to, simulated attacks during the training process. So it's like giving them a crash course in cyber defense, teaching them to recognize and resist malicious inputs.
So it's like training a bodyguard by, having them spar with different opponents so they're prepared for any real-world threat.
Exactly. By exposing the AI to a wide range of attacks, they can learn to identify patterns and anomalies that might indicate a real threat.
That's so smart. But what about the data itself? We talked about data poisoning earlier. How can developers make sure that their AI systems are being trained on data that's clean and reliable? It's all about data hygiene. Developers need to be incredibly careful about where their data is coming from, making sure it's from trusted sources, and that it's been thoroughly vetted for accuracy and completeness. They also need to be on the lookout for any signs of manipulation or tampering.
So it's like a detective scrutinizing evidence, making sure it's the real deal and not some cleverly planted fake.
Precisely. Developers need to think like detectives when it comes to data security, using sophisticated techniques to identify and neutralize potential threats.
That's fascinating. It sounds like securing these AI systems is a constant battle, a race against these ever-evolving threats. But let's shift gears for a moment and talk about the regulators. We mentioned earlier that they're kind of playing catch-up with the rapid advancements in AI. What are some of the unique challenges they face in trying to regulate this complex technology?
One of the biggest hurdles is this black box problem. Many AI systems are so complex that it's difficult to understand how they make decisions, even for the people who built them.
So how do you regulate something when you don't even fully understand how it works? It's like trying to write a rule book for a game you've never played.
That's a great analogy. Regulators are struggling to find ways to ensure transparency and accountability in these AI systems, but without, stifling innovation, it's a delicate balancing act.
And to make matters worse, AI is evolving at such a rapid pace. By the time a regulation is put in place, the technology might have already moved on.
Exactly. It's like trying to hit a moving target. That's why regulators are focusing on developing these flexible frameworks that can adapt to the ever-changing landscape of AI.
So it's less about creating rigid rules
Yeah.
and more about establishing principles and guidelines that can evolve with the technology.
That's the idea. It's about fostering a culture of responsible innovation, where developers and regulators work together to manage the risks of AI while allowing it to reach its full potential.
That makes a lot of sense. But all this talk about regulation and risk might make some people think that AI in finance is something to be feared. What would you say to those who are hesitant or even scared of this technology?
I mean, AI is a powerful tool, there's no doubt about that. And like any tool, it can be used for good or for bad. But I believe that AI has the potential to really transform finance in positive ways, making markets more efficient, more accessible, and even fairer.
So it's not about fearing AI, but about understanding it, using it responsibly, and making sure that we have the right safeguards in place.
Precisely. It's about embracing the possibilities while also being mindful of the risks. And that's what we're trying to do here today, to equip you with the knowledge and insights you need to navigate this exciting new world of AI-powered finance.
Well said. And speaking of insights, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on the future of AI in trading. Where do you see this all heading? What's next on the horizon?
I think we're just scratching the surface of what AI can do in finance. We're going to see even more sophisticated algorithms, capable of analyzing vast amounts of data and making these increasingly complex decisions.
So buckle up. Things are about to get even wilder in the world of AI trading. What are some of the specific trends or developments that we should be paying attention to?
One area that's really heating up is the use of AI for personalized financial advice. Imagine having a robo-advisor that not only understands your financial goals, but can also predict market trends and adjust your portfolio accordingly.
That sounds amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like having a personal financial guru in your pocket.
Mm.
But I can also see how that could be a bit unnerving. What if the AI makes a mistake? Or what if it's biased in some way?
Those are valid concerns, and that's why it's crucial to have these robust regulatory frameworks in place to ensure that these AI systems are transparent, accountable, and fair.
So it's all about striking that balance again between harnessing the power of AI and making sure it's used responsibly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Another area to watch is the use of AI for fraud detection and prevention. With AI's ability to analyze massive data sets and spot patterns, it can be a powerful tool for identifying and stopping financial crimes.
That's encouraging. It seems like AI can be a force for good in the financial world, as long as it's used ethically and responsibly.
Precisely. It's all about using AI to augment human intelligence, to make us smarter and more efficient, not to replace us altogether.
Well, this has been a fascinating and thought-provoking discussion. We've covered a lot of ground, from the technical nuances of AI security to the broader implications for investors and the financial system as a whole.
And I believe we've only just begun to explore the vast potential and the complex challenges that lie ahead in this world of AI-powered finance.
I agree. And on that note, I think it's a good time for us to take a quick break. We'll be back in a moment to wrap up our deep dive into AI and online trading. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the deep dive. We've been unpacking this crazy world of AI-powered trading. And it's been a wild ride. From algorithms that can cause market crashes to the cybersecurity experts who are trying to keep them in check, it's clear that AI is changing the financial landscape in ways we're only just beginning to understand.
It really is a transformative technology with the potential to reshape how we invest, manage risk, and even just think about money in general. But as with any powerful tool, it's super important to use it wisely and responsibly.
And that kind of brings us to a question that's been on my mind throughout this whole discussion. What does it all mean for the average investor?
Yeah.
How can we make sense of all this and make smart decisions in this world that's becoming increasingly complex?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And honestly, there's no easy answer. The world of finance is becoming more complex, more data-driven, more algorithmic. But that doesn't mean we should just, throw up our hands and surrender to the robots.
So what can we do? I mean, I'm not a programmer. I don't really understand all the ins and outs of these AI systems.
You don't have to be a programmer to be an informed investor. The key is to just stay curious, ask questions, and educate yourself about the technologies that are shaping the markets.
So it's about doing our homework, just like we would with any other investment decision. We need to understand the risks and the potential rewards and make sure we're comfortable with how our money is being managed.
Exactly. And remember, you don't have to go it alone. There are so many resources available to help you navigate this new world. Financial advisors, educational websites, even podcasts like this one.
Speaking of podcasts, we're just about out of time. But before we wrap up, I want to leave our listeners with one final thought. AI is a powerful tool with the potential to revolutionize finance. But it's up to us to make sure that it's used responsibly and ethically. We need to be mindful of the risks, but also open to the opportunities.
I couldn't agree more. The future of finance is being written right now, and AI is definitely playing a major role. It's up to all of us to be informed, engaged, and to demand that this technology is used for the betterment of society.
That's a great message to end on. Thanks for joining us today on this deep dive into the fascinating world of AI and online trading. We hope you found it insightful and empowering.
It's been a pleasure being here.
And remember, if you want to stay ahead of the curve in the world of AI and finance, be sure to subscribe to Zana AI Talk for more in-depth discussions and expert insights. We'd also love to hear your thoughts on this episode, so please leave a comment below and let us know what you think. And don't forget to hit that like button. See you next time.